Hello, friends. Welcome back. I really just wanted to come on and do a little bit of sharing today, centered around some of my beliefs. And I know that you might be saying, well, why does that even matter? Well, in my opinion, I feel like it is time for us to look at ourselves as a society, as all people, as love, as peace and healing, and move forward in life, and holding on to things that no longer serve us is not doing anything but continuing the cycles of negativity. And so I thought maybe if I come on here and shared a little bit myself, which, trigger warning in advance, my beliefs are, from what I gather, from what I've shared with other people, are pretty out there. I'm really big on forgiveness and love, and finding the root issues, the root cause of issues, of emotions, of turmoil within myself, which greatly helps me heal past and through things to ultimately find forgiveness for people that, you know, a lot of people would really have a hard time with. So, first and foremost, when it deals with finding the root issues of things. So I absolutely love tarot. I read tarot. I listen to tarot. I do a lot of all of that myself, which I'm going to start a TikTok for that as well. But in the meantime, I was listening to a gal the other day, and she had brought up a lot of energy being around in regards to shame and things of that nature, and how, you know, it you know, having that shame, for one, it's going to really affect your sacral chakra, which in tune corresponds with your third eye. For each and every opposite. So you'd be your root and your crown, your sacral and your third eye, your solar plexus and your throat chakra, and then our heart is in the center. Okay. So those two, when one of them is out of balance because they correlate with each other, it can cause imbalances in the other. But she was talking about those energies, and I had noticed, probably about a week or so prior to that I was having a lot of shameful feelings, a lot of guilt about my eating habits, my body, things of that nature. So that particular reading that she did really, really resonated with me, and it made me think deeper. Okay, why am I feeling this? Why do I feel shame? Especially since I'm much more consciously aware of what I'm putting into my body these days. I try to eat a lot healthier. Now, does that mean I'm perfect? Absolutely not. I'm still human, and I love sweets. So, I mean, it's, but I'm way better. I'm not just grabbing bags of chips or you know, junk food and just running. I make effort every day of my life to eat fruits and vegetables, you know, fresh, raw fruits and vegetables and things of that nature. You know, looking at myself in the mirror and not being 100% satisfied or feeling any type of shame around my body whatsoever. So I did some meditating on that, and I like to trace emotions back to the root of the issue. So while sitting in silence, and essentially you're chasing that emotion down in your memory banks, is how I do it. Finding where the earliest memory that you can remember of having shame or guilt or sadness or despair or anger, or whatever emotion it is that you're going through, you know, And I traced it back to childhood, where my mother and my stepfather would absolutely ridicule me for eating, or wanting more to eat, or even going to the refrigerator to get something to drink and being told, are you sure you need to do that? Are you sure you need to get in there? Like, wouldn't it hurt you to not have something to eat right now? Like, and then always making remarks about my weight, always making remarks about the way I looked, things of that nature. And my mother is a very petite girl, very small bones, very small figured, and I'm not. So, I mean, no matter what, I would never look like her ever. That's just not, that wasn't the plan for me. So, but in tracing it back to those memories, I was still holding on to something deep inside of me that subconsciously I was afraid, like, okay, if I do eat, then I'm going to get big and fat, and then I'm going to look unpleasing to people, or whatever it is, that we try to convince ourselves, because at the end of the day, none of it's true. And frankly, if somebody has a problem with the way you look or anything about you, then those are not your people, and you should not be with them or around them or deal with them. And I understand that some people like that are family members, and I would highly recommend in those situations, it's best to limit your interactions with them as much as you possibly can. They're not meant for you. They're not meant for you. If they cannot recognize you in all of your beauty and glory, they're not meant for you. And it's that simple. It's really that simple. I haven't spoke to my mother in years and years and years and years. Almost going on a decade now. Because there were a lot of really bad things that happened between us. And I definitely never made it easy. I accept responsibility for my own actions in every situation. But it's hard to move forward when you're the only person that is willing to do that. So it is just better for me to go on my healing journey alone and continue with life and be happy and find myself and find forgiveness. So that's kind of a little pointer when it comes to finding the root cause of things, because I really feel like that helps a lot. When you face those things that you've pushed in the back of your mind, when you face those things head on. So, like I said, if whatever emotion, negative emotion that you may be feeling, trace that back through your memory banks to the earliest moments that you were made to feel a certain type of way, and then begin to heal through that. And when I say heal through that, I mean for you yourself and for that person. No matter what my mother or stepdad or even my dad, no matter what anybody ever did, I have nothing but unconditional love for them at this point in my life. I honestly hope the best and wish them well and want them to find their own peace within. It's magical to get to that point. So I really hope that they are willing to put in the work for themselves, not for anybody else, but for themselves. So there's that. When it comes to some of my beliefs, I feel like today we live in a very outdated world. We are, I would say, almost kind of in between two worlds, where it's like you hear a lot about religion, but then spirituality is really coming to the forefront. Learning and discovering our own true nature and our own powers within and what we are truly capable of and who we actually are and how deep does that go, and all of those questions. There are so many people out there today that are really starting to ask those deep questions, and it's crucial right now. It is so imperative to the human species, period, for us to evolve into a more balanced place, because we've been ripping each other's throats off for years through religion, through those type of things, yet preaching of love, but doing the complete opposite in our actions. That's insane to me. But through exploring, and you don't have to necessarily call it spirituality. You can call it whatever you want. Learn yourself. Call it learning yourself if you want. You know what I mean? It doesn't, labels don't matter. What matter is you taking the time and effort for yourself to discover who you are, and forgive yourself and forgive others, no matter how hard or difficult or bad that it got. You have to find it within you. And I don't want to say have to, because that seems like pushy, but for your own peace, well-being, and balance, it is almost imperative for you to find a way to forgive others, no matter what has been done, no matter what happened to somehow. And that doesn't mean you have to keep them in your life, but you can forgive and say, okay, I am sorry, but I need to move forward. This is probably going to trigger people, and I'm sorry now, but if Source can forgive us of everything, and there is no judgment from the Creator, then who are we to hold resentments towards other people? At the end of the day, God is love. And we are created of that. We are that. We are a piece of God living this existence as a human. So if there's love behind that, if love is the main source of where everything began, then we need to, not have to, but we need to find a way to forgive things. I don't believe that there isn't anything that has been done or said that cannot be somehow forgiven. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't going to be traumas or emotions or things of that nature that don't have to be sorted through in order to get to that point. Please don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're going to wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, I forgive you for, seriously physically harming someone, or, doing something horrible towards someone else. Everything is a process, and it takes time. But if you allow yourself that time to work on it a little bit every day, then somewhere down the road, you do find that forgiveness. I had found out that a man that I was with for 9 years had been having an affair with my mother behind my back. They had been hooking up for a long time, for a while. And that almost broke, well, it didn't almost, it did, it broke me, and I know that's not the worst thing that could ever happen. I know there are things out there that are so much worse, and I respect that 100%. But I'm saying from a place of someone that had their heart broken in a severe way, that if you allow yourself to go through the process of healing, that you absolutely can come out and forgive these people. Forgive someone that really hurt you. Send them love anyway. When you're in a point that you're struggling to do that, it's because the forgiveness that you've given or the love that you sent, it's not genuine. There's still something inside of you that holds that resentment or is mad or angry, and I'm not trying to diminish or take away anything, because I know a lot of people have been through a lot of really bad things, and in the moment that you're in, you have every right to feel the way that you want to feel. But I would like for you to be able to work through things and heal them completely, so that you have that peace in you. It's not for anybody else, it's for you. For your own peace of mind. So, back to us being part of God. That's something that even in the spiritual community, people are kind of, back and forth or whatever, well, depending on who you listen to. But we are gods and goddesses walking this beautiful planet Earth, experiencing this life. And through healing and sorting through all of your chakras and raising your kundalini energy, you hit that pineal gland, and it opens things up like I can't even begin to explain or describe. And not that I know yet from myself. I've had smaller things happen with me, but I'm working towards full restoration. Let's put it that way. We are part of Source. We are part of God. And it's quite beautiful. And I feel like us being here on this journey, we are learning and growing and expanding. That is the point of being here on earth, is working through our things, is working through our traumas, is working through our karma, is working through on all this, all of these different things, and growing and expanding. And I can assure you, if you think that, just by leaving this earth, that it's done and over, anything of that nature, it's not. You'll be back again. Your soul will. Your soul can't wait to come back. It's excited to come back. The more that I heal, the more I tap into that part of myself, like just driving down the road in the awe of the beauty of the artwork, of not just God as in Source, but man, of the manifestations, and the buildings and the cars, and the way we have progressed over the course of time, just being in utter awe of the beauty of all of it. So I definitely know that my soul will be back again, for sure. But I just really think that it is important for us to start asking the deeper questions of ourselves, to really truly track down where our hurts and our traumas began and heal them, so that we can find our own inner peace and our own inner balance, and send that type of energy out into the world and be healed people, a healed species. Because what we're doing right now isn't helping anything or anyone. It's time for people to really take a deep look at themselves in the mirror and ask the serious questions. Get curious about who you are. That's kind of where everything started for me. If that would be a good jumping point for you, I recommend it. Like, just even ask, who am I? Spirit, give me a sign, throw something on my path, put me, in the directory or the course to meet someone that's going to spark and open something up inside of me. Who am I? Why am I here? What is this life about? And just kind of go from there. I think more or less that, like the old saying goes, hurt people hurt people. I believed healed people heal people. it just as much. And I very much so believe that when people are healed, that you can find middle ground. You know, you can find middle ground. Healed people, you know, can come back and find middle ground and mutual respect. And I think this world needs that so very much. So very much. So if you made it this far with me, thank you for listening. I know this has just kind of been a rant, but it's kind of, I look and I observe a lot, and I want everybody to find their peace, to find the love within for themselves and for others. You know, it's so important to me. So I love you very much. If you ever have any questions or comments, or you just need somebody to talk to even, you know, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I love you very, very much. Until next time, be well.